Hi, Jamie. How are you doing?
Good. Hi, Amber. Thanks so much for taking your time to chat with me. This is so intriguing and fascinating and captivating. Was there something about Mika or about the premise for Last Light that really drew you to be a part of this series?
Well, I think at first, when I was sent the script, seeing the fact that she was this character that had this platonic relationship with Andy, Matthew Fox's character, was just really interesting. I think we don't see that enough on screen, and for me, I love playing those characters. I think it makes a really interesting dynamic how they work together throughout the series, um, and the fact that they both have an amount of power. They're both always reading each other. They both have status, and that's really interesting to play and important to play. And there's no sexual relationship between them. Mika's not, um, that's not her purpose in the show, and it's kind of it's just a great character to be able to play.
There's such an intensity, and every moment you're not sure of who to trust or necessarily what's happening. Was there a particular episode or maybe a scene you filmed that really stood out to you as a favorite of yours or something that you found the most challenging?
Gosh, there are so many I could talk about, but I mean, I've done a lot of action before, and I love doing action in shows. But this was a different kind of. We had a great stunt team, and they really worked with me to create the story through some of the action that we had, and and so that was a challenge in itself. But I love the challenges. I think that was interesting, and creating that dynamic between Andy and Mika was a challenge as well, because you don't we don't want the audience to be sure, as you say. You want to be reading them both the whole time, and unsure what side they're on and where they're coming from and who you can trust or not. So that was a challenge as well. But I haven't seen the whole show yet, but I feel like in when we were playing it, we created that. So I'm looking forward to seeing.
Well, your adrenaline is probably at 100 every single day you're filming this series. How did you shake off a long day of shooting in not just these beautiful locations, but having to work on these very intense moments?
Well, I mean, part of it is that when you're filming, it is so intense that when you stop, you actually you just it's the kind of you can just leave it behind. And I have a 2-year-old daughter, so as a mum, when the end of work comes and you haven't got a second to linger on things because you're back to the practicalities and playing the mum role, which is very different and equally as incredible. And I give my 100% to both. So that I didn't find it too difficult to turn off from.
Well, each scene you share with Matthew Fox is just beautiful. Talk about working with him.
Well, he's an incredible actor, and I've kind of seen his work since I was yay high and was watching Party of Five, and would kind of look up to him then. So, I mean, it was great. He's so dedicated to the character, and to the work, and it meant that we could really work on the nuances of their relationship, um, and had a lot of fun to work with, which is nice. He has some great stories. I remember, he taught me a lot about a lot of different things, like fly fishing, which I never even knew what it was. He fly fishes. So I know a whole load about that now. But yeah, it was great because it allowed me to kind of show the best that I could with Mika. Um,
She's such a beautiful character and just also confounding, I guess I would say, at the same time, because you never know her allegiances. Um, what did you personally take away from portraying her?
well, I mean, for me, I felt like it was, it has parallels with uh, kind of all mums in the fact that we can be one person and another person and juggle a million different things, um, and dads, of course, parents, and but she's, just the fact that she's very capable is something I loved to show. And the fact that she can have this relationship with a man, that they are working together, but there's nothing sexual in it. So, which I love to portray if I can, if I get the opportunity to show that on screen. So there were a lot of takeaways. And I think we also filmed at a crazy time. We were filming mid-pandemic. We were filming in Paris, Abu Dhabi, Prague. So it was such a memorable job for me because of that. And I think one that I'll never forget.
It's absolutely edge of your seat watching. So I'm so excited for more people to get to see this series coming up soon. Even the journalists in the room, when I was speaking with them, they were super edge of your seat watching, and we were talking about how you just can't stop watching episode after episode, and there's only 5 of them, so it goes so quickly. But I appreciate you getting a chance to explore this beautiful series with me.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Jamie. Real pleasure.
My pleasure as well. Be safe and be well.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.